Your home can be one of your biggest assets, and it's an incredibly important investment that you need to protect. However, buying a house doesn't have to be the stressful process that many people make it out to be, especially if you learn how to buy a house the right way. In this video, we'll walk you through the tips you need to know in order to buy your next home the right way and avoid some of the common pitfalls that can cost you money and even your home in the long run. Number 1. Get your credit in order. A good credit score is important for getting approved for a mortgage and can help you get a lower interest rate. But what is a good credit score? For conventional loans, you'll need a score of at least 620. But the higher your score, the better. If you're looking to get an FHA loan, you'll need a minimum score of 580. Improving your credit score takes time, so start now by checking your credit report for errors and disputing them. You can also try to improve your credit by paying down your debts and maintaining a good payment history. Avoid applying for too many credit cards or taking out too many loans, as this will only increase your debt-to-credit ratio. If you have bad credit or no credit history, it may be possible to establish a solid one through work with a credit builder company like Glimmer. These companies allow people with less than perfect credit histories to build their credit from scratch and learn how to buy a house in the process. One way they do this is by helping their clients make on-time payments on little purchases, usually at around $25, that show up in the reports just like other forms of payments would. Other tactics include automatic withdrawals from your bank account or regular bill payments which are recorded on your reports as consistent monthly income. These might not sound like much, but they're actually some of the best ways to learn how to buy a house because they'll result in faster approval rates and lower interest rates when you finally do find a home that meets all of your needs. Know your needs versus wants. You need a place to live, but do you really need that extra bedroom? Or can you convert another room into a makeshift bedroom? How important it is to be in a certain school district. Do you need a garage or can you get by without one? Answering these questions honestly will help you focus your search on homes that fit your needs rather than getting caught up in the features of properties that aren't necessarily right for you. Make sure you're getting a good deal. It's not uncommon for sellers to list their homes with an inflated price and then come down once they see that there are no takers. Try contacting several agents and see what they come back with as the home's estimate value before putting in an offer. The seller may have overlooked something. This is why it's always best to work with a real estate agent who has experience and knows how to negotiate. They'll know the tricks of the trade. Have a sizable down payment. One of the most important things to do when buying a house is to save up for a large down payment. A down payment shows sellers that you're serious about buying the home, and it will also help you avoid having to pay private mortgage insurance, or PMI. PMI is an extra cost that is stacked onto your monthly mortgage payment if you don't have at least 20% equity in your home. Save as much as you can for your down payment so that you can avoid PMI and get into your dream home sooner. It's also helpful to shop around for a mortgage before shopping around for homes, because some lenders are more lenient with their requirements than others. Shop around for a lender who is willing to give you a low interest rate and has flexible terms on loans. This way, you'll be able to spend less money on each month and get out of debt faster. The amount of time that you've been working should be taken into consideration too. There are mortgages available for people who have only been working for 1 year or less, but there may be restrictions or higher rates associated with these loans. Keep all of these things in mind when purchasing your next home. Prepare to pay closing costs. In addition to your down payment, you'll also need to pay closing costs when you buy a house. These are fees charged by a lender and they typically range from 2% to 5% of the loan amount. To avoid being caught off guard, be sure to ask your lender for an estimate of these costs up front so you can factor them into your budget. When comparing monthly mortgage payments, always factor in all costs associated with buying the house like property taxes, homeowners insurance, and homeowner association fees. These expenses typically vary from year to year, so don't forget them when calculating your budget. It's important to get professional advice before signing any contracts as well. Lenders, attorneys, and other professionals are there to help you navigate the process. You should always compare offers before making any decisions, as well as do your research on neighborhoods you're considering buying in. If all else fails, talk it out with a family member or close friend who has gone through this process before. Have a buffer. Saving up for a down payment is often cited as the biggest hurdle to home ownership, but it doesn't have to be. You can buy a house with as little as 3% down, but having 20% gives you access to the best mortgage rates and helps avoid paying private mortgage insurance. Plus, it's always good to have a buffer in case something comes up. Say your car needs repairs or you need to replace the roof in your home. Having money set aside will help you cover those expenses so they don't derail your plans on buying a home. Additionally, having a buffer means having money saved up for things like kitchen remodels, home additions, repairs, maintenance, repainting, and renovation. By having this buffer, you'll be prepared for anything that comes up and won't have to worry about going into debt to make your house a home. The great thing about a lot of these projects is that they can add value to your home if it's done correctly. For example, if you are in need of a major repairs or renovations and complete them well, then chances are that these expenses will not only pay off but could increase the value of your property as well. Another good idea is to have someone on standby who can help with any major projects. There may come a time where some things just aren't feasible for one person to handle alone and would require hiring someone else such as an electrician or plumber, so always keep some extra cash available just in case. And lastly, look for a house with rental income potential. When you're looking at properties, always think about potential rental income. If a property is in a good location and well maintained, it's likely that you'll be able to find tenants who are willing to pay rent. This will help you cover your mortgage payments and potentially even make a profit. It's important to remember though that real estate prices go up with the size of a house. So while this investment might work if you have access to an inheritance or have been saving up enough money from your salary as a doctor or lawyer, it may not work so well if you've been living paycheck to paycheck working as an office clerk for 10 years. If you buy a house with rental income potential, don't forget about insurance. Be sure to check into landlord insurance and tenant liability insurance so that both of these are covered in case anything goes wrong when renting out the property. Once you've found a place that could be rented out, keep looking. It's always better to find one great rental property than two mediocre ones. Plus, there are many more houses for sale than there are rentals. There's more to buying a house than just finding the right property and making an offer. You also need to be aware of the potential pitfalls that can occur during the home buying process. By learning about these dangers and taking steps to avoid them, you can increase your chances of closing on a great deal. If you are not careful, you could find yourself paying too much for the home, getting caught up in a bidding war with other buyers, or having too little money saved up for repairs. These are all things that might discourage home ownership altogether or lead to financial ruin. To learn how to buy a house the right way, it pays to invest some time into research before jumping in head first. Well, that's it for today's video. Looking into buying your dream home? We hope you've taken some notes from this video. Do let us know if you have some other tips in the comment section. We'd love to hear it. And as always guys, don't forget to subscribe and give us a huge thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.